Okay, here I am at the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, starting my hike. It's finally here. The day of starting is here. So off I go. I feel a little bit like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, starting on the yellow brick road. Although the white blazes are not here, this is just a side trail. I got to walk down the hill, and I will be on the AT shortly, and I will see you there. Okay, I am at the first historic or iconic spot along the trail here. That is Jefferson Rock. Thomas Jefferson stood there at some point and made some profound statement. I don't know what, but it's cool. It's a kind of a balanced rock, and we're walking along the Susquehanna here, heading towards the old town of Harpers Ferry. Okay, onward. Okay, this is Main Street in historic downtown Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Very historic town, well known for John Brown's raid on the U.S. Armory in 1859 to start a revolution to free the slaves. Of course, he was defeated and captured by none other than General Robert E. Lee, who was still part of the Union at that time. Interesting town. It's at the confluence of the Potomac and Susquehanna rivers. Tough town to defend because there are cliffs all around it. And my brother, who brought me here, told me that the battle here resulted in the surrender of the largest number of Union troops. 12,000 troops surrendered to the Confederate troops here, and I believe it was 1861. But ultimately, they said during the course of the war, this town changed hands 14 times. So, pretty cool. Right here to my right is the historic Firehouse, which is where John Brown and his insurrectionists barricaded themselves against the Union forces and eventually surrendered. Momentarily, I'll be crossing the Potomac River, so I'll show you that in a minute. Okay.
Hiking the Appalachian Trail?
Giving it a try.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It is a beautiful spot.
This is my first time here in Harpers Ferry. So.
Me too. Very pretty. A lot of history, right?
Oh my gosh.
Enjoy. Okay, I got a couple miles of flat walking along the C&O Canal old towpath. I guess this gap in the mountains was a gateway to the Shenandoah Valley in the west. So there was a competition in the early 1800s between the railroad and the canal organization to see who could provide freight service. I think eventually the canal lost, and you can see the canal here. It's pretty much filled in, nothing going on there. But it's cool. Walking along the Potomac here on my right, over here. Sun's just breaking through. I said it's going to be a windy day, gusting up to 55. So we'll see how that goes. But the plan today is do just over 10 miles, I believe, to Crampton Gap Shelter. There's water there, and I don't want to overdo it on the first day, although we'll see how I feel when I get there. If it's too early and I'm feeling good, I can go on to the next shelter, which I think is another 5 miles. But we'll see. Again, right now it's flat, but in about 2 or 3 miles I'll be starting an ascent up the ridgeline. Okay, so I'm still walking the C&O canal towpath. Another mile or so I'll start my ascent, but had a few minutes to calm myself and think about what this all means. You know, first few hours out and how I'm feeling. This is a personal journal and I'm sharing with everybody. Definitely excited, but a lot of relief in finally getting it started. Ultimately, you know, the challenge is, can I do this? And you know, my brother gave me good advice before he sent me off. When it stops being fun, you take a break. So we'll take it a day at a time. I really want to enjoy this as much as possible. I know it'll be challenging. I know it'll be hard. But we're gonna see how it goes. Again, a day at a time. Try to keep it upbeat. I know a positive attitude makes a big difference out here. So that's the plan right now. But couldn't feel better. Just enjoying it. Okay, I'm taking my break. Probably have lunch here. I am at my first shelter. This is the Garvey Shelter. I think I'm about 5 or 6 miles in. The next shelter I was going to, Crampton Gap, is only 4.3. And it's only 11 o'clock, so we'll see how I feel. I may keep traveling on, but if the shelters are like this is really very nice. Looks like the floors were just resealed and polyurethane. Very nice. A nice little table here. And over here, bench overlooking the view. In the background is a bear box and a privy. And then down the hill is water. I don't think I'll be going down there. It's a pretty good climb down and back up. So I'll take a break here. So far so good. The ascent from the river valley up to the top of the ridge line was a pretty good ascent, probably 1,200 feet, steady climbing. But I did okay, took my time. The only thing that I'm dealing with right now is on the ridge line, the winds are really blowing. They said the gusts would go up to 55 miles an hour. So it is very gusty. When you hear the trees creak, you're looking up to see what's going to fall on your head a little bit. But other than that, at least the wind is keeping the bugs off me. So far so good. Okay, I am at Crampton Gap Shelter. This is where I'll be spending my first night. Looks like I did just over 11 miles and I'm pretty pooped. So I was thinking about the next shelter, but I think I'll just play it safe and stay here tonight. And it's kind of protected, so it's not as windy here, but I think I'm going to try sleeping in the shelter. So that's it for now. Talk to you later.